Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Let's start, though, as we have many days here over the past several weeks, with the latest installment of Payton Watch. Payton Watch. Damn it, Muse. Payton Watch. Come on.
Payton Watch.
So we know that there were 5 vacant head coaching jobs in the NFL. There are now 4. The Carolina Panthers have named Frank Reich as their new head coach. We all know the story with Reich. He was the head coach with the Indianapolis Colts. They fired him mid-season, surprisingly brought in Jeff Saturday to replace him, and Reich has now landed in Carolina. So the Panthers are, as they say in their release, going back to the future. He'll be the 6th head coach in franchise history, and a guy that has an offensive background, as we all well know, and was at Carolina in 1995 as the first starting quarterback in franchise history. So, Frank Reich was the OC with the Eagles in 2017 when they won the Super Bowl. He was there with Doug Peterson, got the head coaching job in Indianapolis, and had a nice run in Indy, and then obviously was fired this year. The reason this is relevant is that's one fewer opening for Sean Payton. Also relevant here because this is a head coaching job in the NFC South. So there's really 2 paths to discuss the Frank Reich news. One, of course, is what this means about Sean Payton's future, and also the what it means for the Saints in the NFC South now that the Panthers have their head coach. But the Reich news wasn't the only bit of news today on Payton Watch. Payton Watch. Okay. D'Amico Ryans, it's been reported by Mike Kliss of 9news.com. Mike Kliss is reporting, and a lot of very reputable outlets are following here with Mike Kliss's report. He covers the Broncos for 9 News. Apparently, Mike Kliss is reporting that D'Amico Ryans is a top candidate for the Denver Broncos. So if D'Amico Ryans does in fact land in Denver, that would seem to eliminate the spot that many of us have assumed is the very likely landing spot for Sean Payton, which would be Denver, for all the reasons we've talked about. New ownership group, willing to pay the salary. Russell Wilson is there. Payton's talked about Russ. We've been over this over and over. Randy Mueller was with us last week, former Saints GM. His prediction was that Sean Payton would land in Denver. So if D'Amico Ryans ends up in Denver, now Frank Reich is the coach in Carolina, then the opportunities are dwindling, right, for Sean Payton, unless if that, air quotes, mystery team Diana Rossini alluded to earlier this week does, in fact, jump up and make Sean Payton the offer that he can't refuse. I'll remind you again that earlier this week, we had Jeff Duncan on the show, the man who literally wrote the book on Sean Payton and Drew Brees. Guy was very, very connected when it comes to Sean Payton and news about the former Saints coach. And Jeff Duncan, in no uncertain terms, said what he thought all along was going to happen here.
Sean Payton has been leaning to staying at Fox from the outset. So that's where he was at before he went into the interview process. And from people close to him, they told me he would need to be blown away or made an offer he couldn't refuse that was too good to be true to leave. So it's more than likely that's where he's at right now, because he obviously hasn't had an offer yet, and it's going to have to be something spectacular. So I think he came into it with that being where he's going to be next year.
Okay. So, we spend so much time speculating about Sean Payton's future because not of what it means for Sean Payton, but what it means for the Saints, right? Whatever assets the Saints would get for Sean Payton will be really the launching point for the Saints this offseason. But what if Sean Payton doesn't coach anywhere? Well, that complicates this offseason for New Orleans tremendously as you go into a very pivotal offseason with fewer assets than you thought that you would have. The other part of it, which I sincerely hope it doesn't come to this, because I want my team to win. I know there's a lot of fans that don't like Dennis Allen. You've arrived at the same conclusion I have, which is that it's not going to work with Dennis Allen. And I'm not moving off of that. At this point, Dennis Allen is going to have to prove me and many of you wrong. Not that he's out there to prove us wrong, but like for those of us that do not believe Dennis Allen will ever be a successful head coach, he is going to have to win to disprove that theory, because we have enough evidence right now to suggest he won't be a good head coach, because he hasn't been. So I would love for the Saints to win. Don't misunderstand me. I want the Saints to win. But if things go south again next season and Sean Payton does return to Fox, and if things go south in New Orleans, then the scenario that some people have suggested this year, and why not just rehire Sean Payton, could present itself next year. Because remember, the Saints have Sean Payton under contract for 2 more years, 2023 and 2024. So theoretically, there could be a scenario if Sean Payton returns to Fox this year and then wants to return in 2024, if the Saints have another sub-500 season where they miss the playoffs again, 3 straight years, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could move on from Dennis Allen and bring back Sean Payton for another go. At least I would like to think that would be part of the conversation and consideration around New Orleans. My preference would be for Sean Payton to go coach somewhere else this year, the Saints to get a really nice ransom for him and flip that into assets so the team can start winning again. That would be my preference. I don't want to go through another crappy year of sub-500 football. I don't want to go another year without seeing the Saints in the playoffs. I want to see this thing starting to trend in the right direction. I'm not sure I believe it'll happen with Dennis Allen, and certainly not with Dennis Allen and not having potential assets for Sean Payton. So, again, Carolina's hired their coach. It's Frank Reich. Reports out there that DeMeco Ryans is the top candidate for the Denver Broncos. The opportunities for Sean Payton are lessening at this point, and we'll see if, in fact, there is a spot where he will land here in this offseason as we continue on Payton Watch.
Payton Watch.
Okay. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.